Chelsea won, Palace won. Now, we've been robbed. I'm actually fuming. I'm fuming with the result. Look, don't get it twisted. That is not good enough to be dropping points at home to Palace, a team that we've beaten for fun 13 odd times in a row prior to this game. That is not good enough. But when there's a decision that is so clear cut and so impactful on the game, you do have to take note of it in terms of how that changed the momentum of that game, because it did. It completely did. Jarrett Gillett, the worst a man can get. You delivered. You got what you wanted out of the game. You got what you wanted, man. Like, literally, first half, you're sitting there thinking, Kamada's done about 4 fouls and he's walking around with no yellow, but Neto does 1 foul and he's booked. Okay, stuff like that, whatever. Cool. Get it. Will Hughes is booked. He makes another foul in that first half. He shouldn't go off there. He should just have his warning. That's completely fair. I get that, whatever. I would have thought Palace would have taken him off at half-time just because they were going to be aware of that. Second half, Palmer goes through 20 yards from goal. The bloke makes no attempt to get the ball. No attempt. Takes him down from behind. The ref gives the foul. That is as blatant a yellow card as you can get. That is as blatant a warranted second yellow card you can get. And that's at 1-0. That's at a very different game state. That's also at a game state where it's just after the first half. A first half in which Chelsea played very well. I was very happy with how Chelsea performed in that first half. Noni Madueke should have had us 2 or 3 up. There were 2 chances, clear-cut ones from him that, especially after last week, you'd expect him to bury. We had control of the game. Palace hadn't been in it. I think they had an Adam Wharton shot from outside the box. That was about it. And we'd been playing well. I was happy with it. We'd got our goal. Brilliant counter-attack. Absolutely blistering. Noni doing great there. Great ball from Palmer. Jackson taps it in. No striker signed, no problem. Jackson delivering goals and Palmer doing what he does, adding numbers. But that, at that point, had been a good performance. And at the start of that second half, Will Hughes goes. You're against 10 men, 1-0 up, playing well. Like, it's a very different game. But Oliver Glasner, he's a smart guy. He's not some idiot manager. He knows what he saw. He knows they've got away with absolute murder there. And he takes him off straight away. Of course he does. Like any intelligent manager, anyone with a brain cell would do. Because everyone on that pitch, everyone in that ground, everyone watching it from home, other than the man in charge, knew he should have gone. Everyone knew he should have gone. And he didn't. And then Doucouré comes on. Doucouré has a shot that gets blocked. It comes out to Eze. You know a player of Eze's quality. 25 yards is no problem for him. Bends it in the corner. Could Sanchez done a bit better? It's good height. I know it's in the corner, but it's a good height for a keeper. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh because I don't rate Robert Sanchez. But look, Eze can do those things. He's a good player. And from then on, we did not get in the game. We didn't really deserve to take anything from the game after that. Not that Palace were doing loads, but I felt like they looked like they were going to do more than we did. Jackson had a chance right near the death that he should have done better with, realistically. But we didn't do enough. Like, our subs felt it took the sting out of the game for us in terms of an attacking sense. Like, we lost our width. And the first half, we just looked so threatening. We looked threatening. And like I said, Noni has to be bagging that one that went over the top from Wes, who I thought was good, by the way. I thought Wes was really good, particularly, again, like, it's a game of 2 halves today. A bit like the Wolves game was and how good the second half was. Vice versa today. But it's just frustrating for me because, honestly, you can pinpoint it as the game-changing aspect of that game was that decision from Jarrett Gillett. And it's not, I hate just blaming refs on performance because, look, the second half performance is not good enough. Palace were worth their point in the end. But you have to give context there. And that red card there, the game's done. We know the game's done. We know how the game was going. And that big error from that referee completely changed the momentum of the game. It did. Like, I'm not going to sit there and be happy that our response to letting a goal in was poor. I wasn't happy with the substitutions. I wasn't happy with how anyone was really trying to impact that game at that point. Even Cole wasn't really doing what he can do. And we're showing he can do in the first half. Like, they played a lot better in that. But I also can't ignore like a shocker like that. It's as obvious as anything. And, you know, people have a laugh at it and whatever, and I don't blame them in the slightest. That's natural. I'm sitting there pissing myself when Declan Rice is getting sent off yesterday. But we all know, up and down the country, it doesn't matter which fan you are, these refs are shit. Like, they are dog shit. I don't know what he saw. No. I do know what he saw, because he gave the foul. He gave the foul and then proceeded to not give the yellow. It's just a lack of balls. That is all that was. I don't know what it was. It's like, oh, I'm just not going to ruin the game. It's like, mate, you can't let players just go foul after foul after foul. And it's as blatant as that. Like, just, put it this way. You know when you're watching your team and you kind of, the best way I always think to weigh up a decision is, if that happened to my team, would I be annoyed? That's just the way to look at it. Like, if we conceded that pen, would I be annoyed? And that can kind of give you a good way of looking at it without, to remove a bit of bias, right? If one of our players did that on a yellow, I'd be like, you fucking idiot. Why have you done that? You've cost us the game. Yeah, we're playing badly. Yeah, we're 1-0 down. But we were in this game, and you've ruined it. At 1-0, you've got yourself sent off. That's all I'd look at it as. I'm sure Palace fans will see that anyway. They know. They would know. There's no way you'd see that and go, oh, fucking hell, thank God Glasner got him off. And that's what you do, like anyone does. Now, you can't blame them for this. This is not on them. Like I said, by the end, they were probably worth their point, because you can't just win a game being good in one half. That's not good enough, Chelsea. Like, I'm not happy with that. As much as I was happy with the first half performance, I was not happy with the response to the goal at all. We looked to do minimal. Jackson's chance kind of came out of nothing, really. It's kind of a ball over the top right towards the end, and that's all we really did. Like, Felix was shocking when he came on. Mudryk had nothing, and Kunku had minimal minutes to actually do anything. Yeah, I thought even though Neto wasn't as bright as Madueke and Palmer and Jackson in the first half, he still was offering more threat out wide and something different to think about in terms of him being like a left-footed on the left. And we became a lot more predictable and easier to deal with. But Jared Gillett, he was happy to play. Palace's game was a lot of the time Gahey going down for about 10 minutes or whatever, like, killed the game. And that's what there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I'm not knocking that. But there's also a way refs can combat it or have a bit more of a hold on the game and not just allow people to get away with what they were. Like, it's just nuts. Like, honestly, as far as like second yellows go, I just thought it was so clear. Like, so clear. And then, yeah, like I said, the bloke who comes on literally causes the goal. Like, having his shot blocked, goes to Eze, 1-1. And you knew it was just, at that point, I was like, it's one of those days. Especially with how we were playing after that. And it even looked like Palace might have, grabbed something towards the end. If anyone was going to score, like I said, I know Jackson had a chance. If anyone was going to score, felt like Palace to me. Like, Eze, he had a shot, Kamada had a shot that was from a cutback. Yeah, Kamada in the first half. I couldn't believe that as well. You just know. Sometimes you just know when it's like, doesn't feel like your day. You're like, something's off here. I know we're playing well, but something's off here. When he's walking around kicking people and getting no yellow, Neto gives one foul and he's booked. Jackson, I don't even know what Jackson got booked for. The ref, well, actually, no, I do. The ref booked Jackson for time wasting when we needed a goal. Why would he be time wasting? That doesn't even make sense. Oh my God. Like, what's pissed me off is it's a really shit result. And it's pissed me off more that I'm looking at this decision, because that isn't the only reason this has happened today. Chelsea should be beating Palace at home anyway. I'm not disputing that. That's not good enough. It's just that you can literally pinpoint that as such a focal point in the game. Like, the game's done there. Chelsea had played well, and the game is done. Palmer's turned him. He's taken that second yellow. He's got the player sent off. Job done. You're 1-0 up against 10 men. Go get the second. That's that. That was literally that was the game. That was the game. It literally, if the ref does his job, that is the game. And it's not. And as a result, we actually fall to pieces. And the fall to pieces is what's concerning. Like, just because he hasn't given that, you got to deal with it. You got to deal with it. I didn't think there was a lot wrong with the goal conceded. Eze's hit, it's a good strike, and it's fallen to him. It's a bit fortuitous. His shots blocked, like they were getting on the end of them, and the guy's bent one in the corner. Like, there's not a lot you can do with that. But what you can do is pick your head up, stop feeling sorry for yourselves, and actually go again. And maybe the substitutions had an impact to that. We did lose. We lost threat. We actively lost threat when the substitutions came on. So it's a really frustrating one, because that should have been a win today. That should have been a win. First half, it should have been done. The Noni chances. Oh, it's just frustrating. Even like first half, Enzo plays a pass to Noni for one of those chances. Second half, mate, after they scored, he couldn't kick it to one of our players. I was like, what is going on? Oh, like, genuinely just a really annoying result. Really annoying. Because it's just, we need to be building momentum. You're going to smash Wolves. You go over the first half like today, it's like, okay, wicked. And then you don't capitalise, regardless of the decision. It's a long one to take into the international break. And it's a weird one with Jackson, because you kind of think, he's got his goal today, that's great. Our striker's still scoring, despite the fact they were looking at strikers, obviously, going into the end of the window and didn't get one. But then, the chance at the end, you're like, oh, come on, you got to bury that, man. You got to bury that. Those have to be starting putting them away even more regularly. But there are positives from today, like I said, that first half. In terms of countering, and we've seen this in a number of games now, on the counter, we look frightening. Frightening to deal with. Genuinely. Against a team that sits back, we were still struggling at times today. Like we managed to cut Palace apart from a long ball over the top twice. So that's something, at least we're mixing in that regard. It's not all just probing on the edge of the box. That's something to look at. And we managed to catch them out. And then, Enzo hits a good pass that's kind of central to Noni to get on the end on. But like going forward, it's not so much a worry. I didn't even think defensively they were bad today. It was more, once it went 1-1, going forward we looked poor. Really poor. 2 points dropped. But I just, at the epicenter of that, I can't sit there and ignore the fact that that decision is so pivotal. Like, that's such a different game. That's game done. That's going into the international break with 2 wins. You lost to City, but you're building momentum. It's looking nice. And now instead it's a draw with now Malo Gusto injured. So yeah, both our right backs absolutely fucked. Is that the case? But look, Reece was banned. Hopefully he'll be back anyway by the end of the international break. Or maybe Malo Gusto will be fine. Maybe it was just something really minor. I just worried because it looked a bit hamstring vibes. But really frustrating. Really frustrating. And it's just such a sour one whenever you go into an international break as well, because it just lingers. There's not even a game to like get it out of the system. It just sits there like poking you, like, yeah, you drop points again. Drop points. And now we've got Bournemouth away and West Ham away. And it puts pressure on you. Because if they go and win against Palace today, and then they beat Bournemouth away, let's say, if they draw at West Ham away, meh. So, that's still decent in that run. But like today is a Palace at home. We always win against Palace. We always win against Palace. And there's a little part of me thinking, maybe we'll score in the last minute out of nothing. Because we've done that against Palace for a number of years, I feel. Like, Noni had a pen, didn't he, at home last year. But, like, away, Gallagher always seemed to score in the last minute or whatever. Maybe they could have done with a Gallagher goal today, to be fair. He loved it against Palace. But, mate, just frustrating. Frustrating result. And frustrating because it's just minor details. Minor details which completely swing a game. And, there are aspects to be concerned about. Not so much the goal, more just, I don't know, like showing that resilience to fight back. And away we seem to have it. Home, I don't know. We're a weird one in that regard. And all we can see is how things progress over time. So we've got more to look at, really. There's positives to take for sure, but home to Palace, I can't dress it up to you, lads. It's a fucking shit result. Should be beating Palace. If you want to be serious, you got to beat teams like Palace at home. Simple, right? Like, not good enough. Not good enough. But Gillette, you suck. Like, mate, just so clearly a red. Just so, like, get out of here. The fact that he did not give that after he gave the foul, he didn't even not see it, and oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind with this shit. Like, he's just not even they as a collective, the rep, they are shit. They are so bad, with or without VAR. Even with video assistance, they're dreadful. But things like today, you just think, how has that not happened when you saw it? You saw it. You didn't even, if you didn't give the foul, it would be like, that's mental, but you can't bring it back. You can't go and look at a second yellow retrospectively. You can't give a yellow when you didn't give a foul. Like, I get that. But you saw what happened, and you didn't do it. I mean, right, okay, mate. You got what you wanted. Fair enough. Fair play. That's what he came in to do. This fucking Aussie Gillett. Mate, piss off. Piss off back to Aussie rules. Like, this is not the sport for you. It's not a sport for many refs, to be honest. We'll be back. We will be back. We'll go and beat Bournemouth away. But it was just such a good opportunity today. Like, to build that momentum, keep going, and then it goes to a draw. And then you go and draw the game. It's like, it's relentless. This club's relentless. It's just so us. It's just so us today. They're not converting your chances. That decision, game changes, and then everything goes all flat. Feels very flat at home. I think we feel a lot more flat at home. But yeah, what can you do? All we can do is move forward, bounce back, keep building, not get costly decisions against us, hopefully. That would be nice, wouldn't it? For everyone involved, for all teams. It would be really nice if refs could do their job, genuinely. It'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Imagine a world where refs did their job. Crazy. You can't call them out, though. You can't criticise them, though, apparently. Because, yeah. I don't even know why. They're dreadful. They are absolutely dreadful. They wind all of us up. And the sooner we get AI robots doing it, the better. Genuinely. Like, even if that happened the other way around today, I know Palace fans would be fuming and we'd be going, fucking hell, how have we got away with that? Like, does my head in, mate. But yeah, anyway, Chelsea will be back. Up the Chelsea. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. It lets YouTube know this is the Chelsea place to be. This is your place to be. It's the best place to be for football. I'll see you later. In a bit, guys. Up the Chelsea.